everyone. Sending our greetings here down here in Kenya. And yeah, so we are here from Grevy Zebra Trust, and Grevy Zebra Trust is a local Kenyan organization that is 100% dedicated to saving the endangered Grevy zebra. And I'm here today with my colleague here, Damaris, to share with you the work that the Grevy Zebra Trust does here in the northern part of Kenya. And for us to do that, we just want to share with you how we ended up working with the Grevy Zebra Trust. As Julius Lekenit, I work with the Grevy Zebra Trust as a Deputy Director of Programs. And the way I got connected with Grevy Zebra Trust goes all the way to my childhood. As I was a child, I used to herd my mother's goats, working in the northern landscape, and I really had a lot of connection with the northern landscape, with the beauty of the sceneries, the wildlife, especially the endangered Grevy zebra, really inspired me a lot. Such that I went all the way to the university, and I chose to do environmental science. So my childhood really took me all the way to choose even the degree that I went to do. Then when I saw Grevy Zebra Trust advertising jobs, people to come and work with them, and the fact that they were working within the landscape that I cherished so much, that I loved so much, I grabbed the opportunity. And that's why here today I'm working with the Grevy Zebra Trust. So I will just hand over also to my colleague, Damaris.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's really a very good morning to meet all of you, and I'm happy. So I am Damaris Lekiluai. I'm born in Samburu, raised up in Samburu. I am that lucky girl who got an opportunity to go to school and even complete college. So to me, I'm really, I became an inspiration and a motivating factor to the other girls of my community. I went to school, I got an opportunity to even look after goats, interact with the environment, and I ended up doing a wildlife management course. And again, it enabled me to come back and work in the environment. At the same time, be able to help women. One of my passions is wildlife and also helping women and the school girls. And this is a great thing that I'm able now to have a role in Grevy Zebra, whereby I empower girls as well as conserving the Grevy Zebra and other species.
Okay, thank you so much, Damaris. So I just want to take you through what we do as Grevy Zebra Trust. So Grevy Zebra Trust mission is basically to grow the numbers and conserve the Grevy zebra in the northern part of Kenya. And we can't do this without working with the local communities that are living in this landscape, because they coexist and live together with this wildlife. So we ensure that the rangeland that the people and these grevies are found is really rejuvenated, it's healthy, such that it can contain all the wildlife and the people. And most of the questions that we are being asked, why are you specifically conserving Grevy zebra? So when you try to see the three types of zebras, the numbers of the other zebras, the common zebras of 500,000, the mountain zebra definitely found there in Southern Africa, the numbers are above 25,000. But the Grevy zebra, the numbers are below 3,000. So this is why we are really interested in making sure that the numbers of Grevy zebras also go up. And of course, you can also see, I just want to highlight the fact that they are so distinctive. They are very different. Of course, the beautiful Grevy zebra is very big in size. And of course, you see it's very, very magnificent. And there are quite a number of other differences, which I think I cannot dwell on it now. Then as Grevy Zebra Trust, we are, yes, in Kenya, working in Kenya. As I said already, we are a local Kenyan NGO, but specifically in the northern part of Kenya. For those of you who have been to Kenya, on the way to Lake Turkana. So we are just on the extreme north. It's a Marsabit town bordering on Somalia, then on the other side is Ethiopia. So we are in the extreme north, and this is the area that you find the pastoralists. Most of the community living here are pastoralists, and also we have a lot of community conservation going on here. The other thing that I really wanted to highlight is the fact that, yes, I've said the northern part of Kenya, the communities that are living here are pastoralists. And we have this species, the endangered Grevy zebra, as one of the biggest mammals living here. So they share the land with the pastoralists here. They are so much connected, even the culture of the people, it's so much connected with the wildlife, especially the Grevy zebra. I just want to share with you one of the stories during one of the biggest droughts in 1980s, of which one of the elders shared with us. It was really a very bad drought, and the pastoralists with their livestock are roaming across the land, looking for pasture and looking for water. And one of the days, one of the elders saw the tracks, the footprints of the Grevy zebra. So just seeing the footprints, he really got a lot of hope, such that he told one of his sons that you have to follow the foot tracks all the way, see if there is a place there is pasture, and also to see if there is a place where there is water. And at the end of the day, it really happened that his son was able to find the water and also the pasture. So that just shows how this wildlife, the endangered Grevy zebra, is so important to the pastoralists here, because they can be able to know where the resources are within the landscape for their own livestock and also for their own benefit. And as you see in this picture, it just shows the way everything is interconnected. The livestock, the people, and the Grevy zebras, they roam across the same landscape. And you find that they also intermingle, they really graze together. So this just shows you that the people living in this landscape, they have grown up with this wildlife, and even their cultures are so much impacted by this wildlife. Then looking at the threats, we are saying initially that the numbers are below 3,000. Why is it that way? The biggest threat of Grevy zebras is land degradation. This land is being shared by a number of livestock, cattle, goats, and many others. So the land is so degraded sometimes because of overgrazing, such that you find that there's very little to eat. When it rains, you just get a runoff. Then the other biggest threat is accessibility to the water points. Because these resources are very rare in this particular part of Kenya, you find that everybody is roaming around looking for water, looking for pasture, and you find that there are areas specifically in the northern part of Kenya that you get the livestock throughout the day and also throughout the night. They're just there at the water points, such that the wildlife cannot access these particular water points. Then another big threat is in the extreme north, especially in a place called Baragoi on your way to Lake Turkana, is poaching. Poaching has been on the increase all the way from 1980s, and even we still have poaching right now going on. There are communities that hunt grevies for meat. There are those that, especially because of the cultures, that they shoot the stripes just for shooting targets, and this has really affected their numbers. So we have these threats. What are we doing as Grevy Zebra Trust, as an organization? What are we doing? So we brought our minds together, we sat together, and we came up with ways to ensure that we address these threats. So as I have already mentioned to you that we have the pastoralist community in this landscape. We cannot work without them. We are engaging them, employing the women, employing the rangers, employing also the warriors, who are the people always who are with the livestock. They go all the way roaming across the landscape. So we make sure that these are the people that we are working with. They are the foundation of what we are doing. And on the issue of land degradation, rangeland rehabilitation, or rather rangeland, is the foundation of life in the northern part of Kenya. Without rangeland, without grass, the pastoralist livelihood will be decimated. So we saw that for us to ensure that the grevies will have food, will have the grass, the livestock will have the grass, and also the pastoralist will also have their livelihood secured. We made sure that we come up with practices that the community restore back their degraded lands. And how are we doing this? We are doing this by ensuring that we do a lot of community outreach. We sit with them, and they come up with ways that they plan their grazing patterns. They come up with ways that they use to rehabilitate their own lands so that they can have grass. Then the issue of poaching. Poaching is a very big problem, especially in a place called Baragoi. So what we are doing here is making sure that we have rangers, we have boots on the ground who will be our eyes and ears on the ground. So we made sure that we employ, especially from the two warring communities or communities that are fighting each other, such that we are also trying to bring them together. And the rangers that we are having in this particular landscape who are addressing the poaching issues, they are not only going there to monitor grevies, but they are our eyes and ears on the ground, as I have already said. But they work also very closely with their communities, building relationships, trying to educate them on the importance of conserving grevies. And just to take you back to 2012, that's the year that I joined Grevy Zebra Trust. When I joined Grevy Zebra Trust, the conflict was so high, tribal conflicts. And because of the conflicts, the wildlife was so scarce such that they ran away. So the only thing you used to see to know that the grevies are here was the poo and the footprints. So this is something that we really wanted to work around to make sure that we don't see the footprint alone, but we see the live grevies. And how are we doing this? We made sure, because we knew that peace, conservation without peace is impossible. So we made sure that we try to address the insecurity issues in this particular landscape. How did we do that? We tried to imitate some of the mechanisms that the communities they are used to address peace. They have what we call the Elders Council of Elders. So we came up with what we call the Alberta Conservation Council, including women, warriors, and elders, such that they come together from different tribes, they sit together and try to dialogue, creating opportunities for them to communicate. Then when we started this program in 2007, there were very few organizations that were there, but right now we have quite a number of them. So what we are doing is making sure that we don't work in isolation. We work together with the partners, the conservation NGOs that are in that landscape, even the humanitarian organization, to ensure that we move together to address the insecurity issue, which is also the problem that's creating poaching in this particular landscape. As you have already seen, we want to work with the communities. We want to ensure that the communities see the benefits. So I want just to welcome my colleague here, Damaris, to take you through one of our beautiful programs that empowers women.
Thank you so much, Julius. So as Julius has said, that this beautiful endangered animal called grave zebra coexists with these beautiful people. Both have challenges. So as Grave Zebra Trust, we cannot ignore the challenges of the people as much as we want them to continue to exist with these species. So the lady here is working on a sewing machine. Her name is Sintiwan, one of the community women that are pioneers of this reusable sanitary pads project, Lekenit project. She's one of the pioneers, and she has a story to tell to our community. That Sintiwan was actually having a problem just like any other community women. She didn't have an hygienic option during her periods. And when we gave her the chance, she became the solution to the problem that is affecting women. So there she is with the machine and other women. So these women, they call themselves the mothers of grave zebra. So after now, their problem of not having pads, now they have pads. Now they go out and give out the awareness about the wildlife, why we need to conserve wildlife, why we need to share resources like water and pasture. And they are proud ambassadors in their communities to talk about the species, as well as educate girls on their hygienic option during their periods. Yes, so we do this through community meetings. We go out together with these empowered women. We go and meet other women of the community. We educate them we give them the news about the grave zebra. We tell them why it is important. And now the larger community now are trying to benefit and appreciate the species. And as a community, we come together and make sure that we protect our environment, we protect our wildlife as a team. So employment of women, we try to increase the number of women. And again, we connect all this to the school girls. In these pastoral communities, just like the women, the school girls dropout is high because they don't have pads. So the women themselves, they make the pads, they go to the school girls, they empower them, they give them pads, and they be able to remain in school during their days, their ministerial days. Yes, and these are the happy school girls who have not missed their lessons, who now know what a grave zebra is, and our pad is striped. This is just to connect it to the species. And the logo there is that of grave zebra. This is much awareness about the species in the community. And one of the ladies there is our women scout. These are the women who monitor the grave zebra, collect data. And we connect them with the girls so that they also get an opportunity to explain what they do as women of this community. At the same time, they share the parts and also talk about the hygiene education to the youngsters. And there is the product. And yeah, that is the part there with the logo, and it has two parts inside that should last at least the girl the whole day. If she we explain what to do with them, and one part will last one woman or girl for a whole year because it is reusable. And again, still under community support, we have students that do very well in school, but their parents cannot afford their fees. So we step in as this grave zebra to just give them a hand of help to make sure that they don't stay without going to school when they have performed. And we have our bursary, our program, where we support students who have done well in the exam from the communities where we work. And currently, we even have, most of them go to the university because we try to mentor them and support them so that they also perform and just continue with their education.
Okay, thank you so much, Damaris. So those are some of the things, some of the activities that we are doing out there in northern part of Kenya to ensure that the communities value grevy zebra. So, so what are the results? So one of the things that we have seen communities going out there voluntarily to now restore their land, to carry out activities that will bring grass back to this landscape, the grass that is needed by the grevy zebra and their livestock. And these are the amazing results that we have seen. The grass coming back, meaning the health of the grevy zebras is being restored. Their population definitely increases. But also we have seen a unified community, a community that is there to make their own decisions and also to ensure that they manage their own land. We have seen the communities out there are failing water for gravies, making wells and also ensuring that there are times or moments for gravies to come for water.
After working for 4 years with women in the school, this is the impact story, that now the absenteeism of the girls has reduced in the school and the community have more knowledge of the species. And this teacher was trying to describe how this is important in terms of the species, the community, and girls continuing with the education comfortably. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Damaris. Then here, just because of the work that we are doing out there, we have now rangers, who we call the ambassadors, going out there, and the attachment with them with the grevy zebra has really gone up. We have here Lekenit, one of our ranger, who has named this particular grevy Lopono in our local language, meaning the ear-nosed grevy zebra. So this just shows that the love and the excitement with our rangers has gone up such that they're out there really to monitor and protect this species. Then also in the northern part of Kenya, we have a specific place called El Barsa. This was a hotspot of conflicts, a hotspot of poaching. And it's just the areas that I was showing you where you saw the poo and also the footprints. But now, this year and also last year, we saw more than 100 gravies in this particular landscape, meaning that the relationship with the community and the Grevy zebra has really gone up, and the numbers of also gravies is going up. Yeah, so that is the story that we wanted to share with you guys. And this is just to say that the approaches that we are using to work with the local communities in northern part of Kenya is positively impacting on the wildlife that are found within this landscape. Just engaging with the communities and the communities seeing the benefits that are coming with Grevy zebra conservation. Thank you so much.
Hi, I would like to firstly take the opportunity to obviously thank you guys, Johan, the LCA team, for allowing me this opportunity to even present to my former mentor, Ms. Cheryl Ogilvie, who has been a mentor, and I guess I'm doing what I'm doing because of all the knowledge that she has instilled in me. So allow me to take you through the Bush Babies environmental education program that is so very dear to my fragile heart. But then, yeah, we take it there one day at a time. So like I said, my name is Lewyn Maefala, and I am from an organization called Transfrontier Africa, where we're working together with the Black Mambas Anti-Poaching Unit within the Baluli Nature Reserve. So the program is just a platform where we are creating a platform for the locals to grow and mature in nature. So as you can see today, we're celebrating African Month. So I've got my African attire going on. And just a little background about myself. I am the founder of the Bush Babies Environmental Education Program, and I'm from Pretoria, which is 500 kilometers from where I am situated in the Bapalabora municipality. I have a national diploma in nature conservation, of course, with this amazing university, Tshwane University of Technology, and I'm very much passionate in environmental education. I'm currently the Black Mambas Anti-Poaching Unit environmental officer and a project manager and coordinator. So now we're actually working with 5 schools due to the local pandemic. So I have this idea of having the reserve as this 3-legged pot, whereby it cannot stand without the other one. So basically depending on each other. With the research first, that's the top, you can see they go around doing rhino monitoring, and they're finding out where the rhinos are located, and where are the hotspots. And in that, with that information, they're able to place the Black Mamba Anti-Poaching Unit, which is the law enforcement of saying, okay, these are our hotspot areas. We need to secure this place. So when I came here, I was like, okay, I get this part, but how are you engaging with the local communities? Because they have a very important role to play. I felt that the program was just standing on 2 legs, and then of course we added the 3rd leg. So the Bush program started in April 2015, just after I graduated. Oh no, in the year I graduated, with just 4 schools, so 4 primary schools with 272 learners. We adopted 11 schools, and we lost, before COVID, we had 2,800 learners onto the program. We currently have 160 Nature's Guardians. These are now our senior Bush Babies that have graduated. We've got the Bush Baby Scouts, the Bush Grannies, and our environmental monitors or environmental educators, formerly environmental monitors from the Public Works or the EPWP program. So this is the map where we are located in the Greater Kruger National Park. That is the reserve where we are, on the western boundary fence of the Greater Kruger National Park. And you can see there in the Papalabora area with all our local primary schools there. So we have a community that is very rich in marula trees, and they make the world famous marula beer or liqueur here in Palabora. And the ladies, they harvest, they're collecting these fruits, and they make the local beer, mkhobe, and then the home of marula takes the pulp, and they bring back the nuts, and the ladies take out the cavities inside, and they make oils and beauty products. So it's an ongoing process, and that gives the local people some form of an income. But being that, we also have the local mines, but still, you know, people feel it's not enough, and we end up with problems such as poaching, where you find bush camps, and this is one camp with our sister program, the Black Mamba. They have found these poachers with their bushmeat camps in the field. We are working with communities where kids are fed every morning, 9:30, and this is something that I used to take for granted. You know, coming in, I'm like, well, it's not their first meal. How can you survive with that? And little did I know, I was very much ignorant, because that is the actual situation that is happening within the communities. So then I decided, no, man, we're gonna do this. And how we're going to do it, we're going to create our a program will be into we're going to integrate with the school curriculum. And our main focus will, of course, be the rhino, but not just the rhino on its own. You know, I want to know the kids must learn, because we're working with the Black Mambas. I want the kids to learn the importance of this rhino and how it is, and the poaching stuff. That's where the Black Mambas come into the classroom and educate the kids about these the rhino poaching. So the idea is to look at the basic needs of a rhino, and then the friends of the rhino. Now we're looking at how it functions with animals who exist, how we have like birds, like the oxpeckers. So that relationship, that is the portion of the bush babies. And then the Black Mambas come and educate kids. We've seen a positive result of the Black Mambas coming to educate the local kids, because these are local ladies from these communities that are telling the people from here to conserve these wildlife, because it's for them and not just for me, but of course for me as well, but for everybody. So in that way, the message goes out, because these kids, when they go home, they're like, yeah, there were soldiers at school today. I mean, these are schools that are, you know, they don't have ceilings, and Palabora is very hot. So as a parent, you really want to know, what were these soldiers doing? And the kids get to say, no, they were here to tell us about poaching, and they said we must stop this poaching. And in that way, we've got that relationship, that people get the message out and they know who we are and what we do. So like I said, the program linked into the school curriculum. You can see there are passes versus our failures. Not everybody will be interested in science. So we take that into consideration when understanding that environmental education is a long-term investment. We can see here we've got a picture of one child who drew this rhino that's coming to drink at them. It says a lot for a child who is in grade 5, you know, but I've never seen such an image on TV. It surely does give you a wake-up call that we really need to do something. So our Bush Babies program starts with the little ones. As you can see, the program is more informal. There's puppet shows, you know, they play in their hands, they sing along, and even do puppet shows. Their program is very much informal, and we use their local language. And we have the older kids, where we now involve in Transfrontier Africa and the Black Mambas. They're coming into good play. This is now with the grade 5, 6, 7 learners. The Black Mambas come and they talk about snares and how it affects us and the wildlife. You know, the volunteers from abroad, they can come and incorporate the culture. We exchange, you know, we do the Tour My World, where they're talking about where they're coming from and in how the cultures differ. We also have a competition with the learners, where they have like a fashion show using recyclable materials. Learners are engaged in like recycling projects. They can plant trees. We celebrate the calendar. And also the Black Mambas come in there and instill this, you know, the skills to the kids. They were doing their paramilitary training there with the kids, because we see that a lot of kids, when they grow up, they want to be working in the mines. So we're just trying to change that and introduce them to different career paths by calling in experts. So we also do the holiday program, or the holiday course, whereby kids come from the communities into the reserve. Lives, you know, we take them to Hesk, where they can see the rhinos. I like the fact that this is Balu, who was one of our orphaned rhinos, whose the mother was poached, and he's now back really wild, you know. So it's good to see those steps happening, and kids go on game drives, you know, after all the learnings throughout the year. So we visit each school once a week. the kids go camping, you know, we're sleeping in these beautiful tents. You know, when they come there, they're thinking this is a 5-star thingy, but we give them obviously that 5-star bush experience, stargazing. You know, they go on boat cruises, game drives, and they get to see these wildlife in their natural environment. After, when the learners are done with their year program, they graduate and they become then our nature's guardians. Now, the nature's guardians are senior bush babies, which get to do the more fun stuff. You know, they go to more excursions. But in a nutshell, these kids can join our most rewarding program, Scout program. We've partnered with Keep Dream 196 in Zanin, and they do all our trainings for the Scouts program. One thing that I really love about the Scouts program is to learn, and you can see here this picture with the scorpion. I think one of our best moment is having the Scout law number 6, which says a Scout is afraid to animals. None of our animals are killed. Be it a spider, be it a scorpion, you will be cold. Here's a frog. Oh, look, I found a snail. So it's all about that behavioral change for the kids. My internet is unstable now. What they also do is they go to they do river monitoring, where they look at what kind of organisms do they find in the waters, how polluted is the water, and then we're trying to come up with solutions. We haven't as yet, but then we are on the process of finding the right things that can improve the water quality of the Salati River. In terms of our food security programs, we've got our own vegetable garden, which improves every single year. So here we've got the kids working in the garden, you know, to the harvesting of the foods, to them eating the actual foods. And we are fortunate to have Kansas City Zoo that has now sponsored our food program and our food garden, although we're struggling with our borehole, you know. Like I also said that we also do food parcels, where with COVID, we did like, was it 12 successful? Yeah, 12, like a full year of delivering food parcels to 90 households at each time. So yeah, we can also see the Black Mamba Kateko giving the fruits to the kids. And we can see that the old granny, they're just holding on to her food parcel, you know, and she didn't want anybody to assist her with it because now it was hers. And then we got to see, yeah, within our bush grannies, these are now the matriarchs of our local community. These grannies are there, you know, they teach us these indigenous knowledge, the cultural backgrounds, and the totem animals that they have. It's very much important to have them onto the program because they're able to tell you that, yeah, you know, we love the elephants because the Shai people, Babina, the Tlo animals. So just to have that link and connection between the local people and having this. What's also important is these bush grannies, they come and visit the kids and they can share their information with the kids. They can tell them indigenous stories, like how did the zebra get its stripes? Those stories that they grew up knowing, they are able to share that with us. Another thing that they do is we go with the bush grannies into the Kruger National Park, and we also yeah, just spend days. They work in the garden within the team to, okay, again, to solve this problem of food security. One other thing that we also do is to upgrade the classrooms, you know, and we're putting solar. We've got a center in Maseke where we're conducting the Scouts program. It's installed with solar panels, you know, we're just going the natural way. So you can see there our classrooms where we bring in like ceilings, fans for the kids. So in my next slide here, you can see here the success of the program. Again, we're introducing kids to different things. This is Lekanalo Msuma, who was working on rodents, and she was doing research. She was looking at why do we not have bigger marula trees growing in the landscape? It's just the small ones, only to discover that the little rodent there was the one that was eating them away. So that has helped. And I mean, you know, she got so successful that she went to represent South Africa in Los Angeles. We also have the Dress Me to Learn initiative, where learners are bought new school shoes. You know, these kids walk very, very long distances, and only to walk with such shoes and having other people or other learners laughing at you. One of my latest programs that is so very much close to my heart must be this program. You know, this we partnered with HURT, which is Hoedspruit, in the Hoedspruit Elephant Rehabilitation and Development Program, whereby the kids get to come and see these elephants. You can see on the bottom left picture here, you've got this child who's now afraid, and you know, like come, it's not going to do anything to you, to having seen these kids now actually going there to touch the elephants themselves. So that behavioral change, and to see that kids now are able to become so comfortable, you know, they can see you doing it, they also do it. One of the rewarding programs that we've had is with the environmental monitors / educators is the village patrol, where they're walking in their communities and they're identifying problems that they're having. You can see here we've got a map. On the map, it's location of different things that they come across. You know, there's the litter, the pollution, we've got alien plants, and we try and put like some chemicals on the plants to kill them. But one of them that is rewarding is this one of the Cook Stove Initiative, in partnership with Tusk and the Kruger to Canyon Biosphere. We've seen a lot of trees that are being chopped down in the communities, even indigenous trees, which are used for firewood. But then through this stove, they're able to use like small bits and pieces, twigs to cook, and it can cook a proper meal. Another program that we're doing is the animal welfare program, where we're dealing in particular with donkeys, because they are the ones that work the most. As you can see, one problem that we're encountering here is these harnesses of them that are not really working very well. They have bruises, and you know, it's just a painful thing to watch. So we get the SPCA involved, you know, and they're training us as well on how to treat these kind of wounds, and of course, with the funders that we are working closely with, we are on a process of getting these new harnesses for these donkeys. We also do trainings, different types of trainings. First aid is our priority, and firefighting, because we're dealing with fire in terms of our scouts programs, and we're dealing with kids, so we need to know how to deal with situations. We also do snare sweeps together with the Black Mambas and with other organizations within the landscape. This is what drives me in the morning. This is what helps me to wake up in the morning. It's this quote by Dr. Seuss that says, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, it is not going to get better. It is not. And I always remind myself, and I say, unless someone like Lewyn cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. So if I don't care a whole awful lot to pick up a piece of paper because I didn't throw it there, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, I have come to the end of my fun-filled program that I love so much. It's part of my job, but you know, I just get paid to do what I love. In a nutshell, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. I have, well, I'm going to take the opportunity to ask the first question, and I know you shared it, but Julius and Damaris, how many years have you been busy with your project?
Yeah, so Grevy Zebra Trust started in 2007, so we now have around 15 years.
15 years.
Yes.
And I saw that on Lewyn's side, it was since 2015, am I correct?
Yep. Oh, 2015.
So that's just to take note that these things take time to build, and it's, you know, it takes commitment. I think Cheryl knows the story, also been doing the same thing at Nduma. You work at this for a very, very long time to get these results. These results did not come in 1 or 2 years. They came through blood, sweat, and tears. So we really, really salute you for the work that you do. And thank you for sharing your expertise and your knowledge with us this morning. Now I would like to welcome the students to please do not be shy and ask questions. I know when it's large groups, everybody are scared of asking questions, but please feel free. One of Lewyn is, she doesn't bite at all. She's a TUT student, so you can. And the Grevies, they are also obviously friendly people.
Well, this morning I was blown away. Not only seeing Lewyn starting to step into my shoes, I think she is in my shoes. Thanks, Lewyn. I knew you were going to go far in environmental education, that you told me from day one in class that this is what you want to do, and you are doing it. Well done, young lady. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And the amount of knowledge that you have grown over the years from 2015 is amazing. And your bush babies, to me, remind me so much, this project reminds me so much of Indumu, going into the classrooms, taking the kids out in the veld. You've seen it firsthand. And thank you for actually going that extra mile, young lady. All those sweat and tears are worth it, because you're making a change in a community and you're watching those children grow. Then Julius, Damaris, thank you very much. You may be far away from us, but I think my students have learned so much what you guys are doing and your amazing work. And what I saw firsthand this morning was your rangers look so professional. They're in their uniform, they're proud to be in the uniform, and they're proud to do that job. And that to me is what conservation is all about. You take it further and you be professional and you want to make a difference. As you were talking about, Lewyn, the behavioral change, I think we're getting there, and it is baby steps. We have to take our baby steps, and it's one step at a time. Sometimes we end up crawling, sometimes we end up falling. But the thing is, Lewyn, you got up. Am I right? How many times did you fall?
Many times.
And you
Once a year.
And you can tell the students how many times I kicked your butt as well. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
I would not let you give up when you thought you weren't good enough. What did I say to you?
We've got what did I even say in the beginning when, remember with our, sorry, we're having our reunion moment. when I went with the orientation week, you know, I'm so happy that you remember it. Like, you know, that she kept us going. I remember I've been on Ndumo, and every morning, you know, we wake up so early in the morning. But today I can actually pat myself and say it was worth it. But thank you so much, Doctor.
No, you guys are worth it, and thank you very much. I've asked a student this morning also to thank you guys, and I'm going to pass it over to my student, because I think it's now the time for babies to actually start filling shoes, just like you did. And Julius and Damaris, also thank you so much. I'm so proud of what you guys are doing out there, and you're making a difference. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you also, really humbled.
I see there's a question from Rebecca. Rebecca is asking to Lewyn, how have the stats been from 2015 to present? At what rate has the rhinos been increasing? So there's a way.
So thank you for the question. Thank you for the question. Like I said, I deal with the fun stuff. I really don't like to break my little fragile heart with the stats. So, but in terms of our reserve, where the black mambas are the eyes and ears and the foot on the ground, you should stay tuned for that presentation next week. They will give you, but we haven't lost any rhinos in the past 3 or 5 years. We haven't. And of course, we've had Balu, who mother, like I stated, whose mother was poached, and then now she's back in the wild again. We've had, I think, 2 baby rhinos were born, if I'm not mistaken, within that 5 years period. So I'm not really into the heartbreaking issues. That's why even with in terms of rhino poaching, the black mambas deal with that. So I want to do the nice, fun stuff with the kids. So the black mambas would have the relevant information, but on our side, we haven't lost any of our rhinos.
So it's wonderful to me that, you know, conservation can mean that you work with children. Some of us are scared of rhinos and some of us are scared of children. So conservation means both.
And have you-
I see
Sorry,
Tsepang.
can I just ask Johan, is there any data, Lewyn, from before and after, whether you can clearly show that your bush babies, and I think you called the other group, your nature guardians, have you got any data to show that the knowledge is increasing, the awareness is increasing, that there's some kind of behavioral change? And I know we've been talking about in the last, Llewellyn, you need to come on these things, the Unlocking Nature talks on a Thursday night, where the unheard voices, and I know you're probably dealing with that as well, the unheard voices, are those voices being heard out in your area?
Not really. There aren't, in terms of the bush babies on its own, the voices are not going out. But because we've got the black mambas there, it helps so much. Because even if I go there, they're like, okay, so you dealing with kids, so what? But because we've got also the environmental monitors, we've had in the local communities of Makushane, whereby there was a snake in somebody's household. And these people were able to go and locate Esley, who's not a snake catcher, but because of the work that we're doing, the people were able to get that link of anything related to conservation, we need to go to Esley. So with the black mambas, in terms of the black mambas, with the behavioral change and the monitoring of how it is, the program, there was this man called James Danofberg from the Living Desert in California. He came to do a study on the impact of the black mambas within their communities. And we that side of Ekonhoek, the Mpumalanga region, compared to where we are now in the Limpopo region, where we have in both black mambas and the bush babies, and only in Bushbuck Ridge, they only had the black mambas. People in Bushbuck Ridge did not know what the black mambas are doing. They did not have an idea of what's happening, whereby if you compare it with us, you were able to see that because these ladies are from the community and they engage with the kids and they're engaging with the community, so that ripple effect, you were able to see it. The program that is giving us the most results is the Scouts program. And that is the reason why we decided to do the Scouts program, because we teach crits at school where we're only dealing with grade 6 learners. So now we started with the younger ones, and then they're with us from grade 4. They come to grade 5, they're with us, and grade 6 and to grade 7. But that's the only time we have with them at school. Then we decided when they're done in school, what then happens to the kids? And that is when we started the Scouts program. So the numbers are increasing. We're not only dealing and engaging with the little kids only. We are now having high school learners that are coming and joining the Scouts program. And as you know, the Scouts program is a development program. It instills skills to the kids, behavioral change, and in a nutshell, just develops the person. So we have seen that. We even now have volunteers that are coming onto the Scouts program. These are people that have never been on the Bush Babies program from a younger age, but we have now these numbers that they're coming.
Thanks, Lewyn. It's wonderful to see the growth happening. Just a comment from Suraya. Yes, we did learn a lot, Dr. Ogilvy. It was very informative, not only conservation-wise, but also gave an awareness that the community is not just people we can live with, but people who we can actually have and start with before implementing the hard approaches to conserving nature. So that's a wonderful observation. Chihamo, a question to Mr. Johan. How can we access these talks on YouTube? I'm going to ask Marie to please share the link in the chat. Chepang, I heard you talking about donkeys and medicines. Well, I would like to ask about the medicine which people can use to heal them or reduce the pain, because it's really heartbreaking seeing them in pain. So just a comment from our side, we recently did a series of talks with vets for the Black Mambas on assisting dogs in the community. And they did mention that we should look at doing a similar series for donkeys and horses in the communities as well. So we will invite you when we do that. So if the Black Mambas agree to do a series like that, we will invite you back to where a vet can answer your questions. Otherwise, I'm really putting Lewyn on the spot here. But you can answer if you want.
Yeah, just to answer, we're not using the very much complicated stuff because we're not vets. And we want to leave vet work to vet. So we just apply wound oil and wound spray for the flies. We're expecting a vet to come in because these donkeys, some of the wounds are, you know, it's from hitting the cart on the back. They claim it was bitten by another mare or stallion. We don't know, but mostly the injuries that are inflicted by humans, hitting it with a spade, a shovel. There was one that was hit with a panga, and in those cases, we have to unfortunately call the vet to come and assist us.
Thank you for that. And then to Julius and Damaris, who is the source of funds for the PADS program, and how do the sponsors benefit from the campaign? That's from Rebecca.
Okay, thank you very much, Rebecca, for the Women Project. We were supported by World Women Work, led by Singer, and we also get individual donors, also from the local people who would like, for example, somebody would like to support a school, and the person would buy the pads from the women, and with his name, we recognize the person, the local person, and we take the pads to the women, to the school, and also the community.
So I just want to add to what Damaris said. Our ultimate goal is to ensure that the national government and also the county government really sponsor such projects, such homegrown projects. And one of the things that Damaris has really been doing is engaging the county government, doing presentation at the county assemblies, just to make them realize that, yeah, there are challenges out there facing women, and they need really to be supported. They need to be empowered. So we have had talks with quite a number of them, especially with some of the key leaders, key women leaders within the county government. So that's our ultimate goal, to make sure that the county.
Thanks, Julius. Then a comment from Prudence. I've thoroughly enjoyed today's presentations. It's encouraging to see the work being done in Kenya, especially the reusable sanitary towels and keeping young girls in school. Lewyn, thank you for sharing the impactful work you're also doing. It's lovely to see you follow in the footsteps of Dr. O. Thank you. I've received a lot of new inspiring information. It was worth waking up for. That is indeed true. Definitely worth waking up for. And thank you to the ladies who obviously woke up very early to dress so beautiful. Damaris, can I ask you, what is the name of the necklace or the jewelry that you are wearing?
The necklaces, you mean?
Yes, the necklace.
Yeah, it's called Ngiripa. These ones are Ngiripa. Then this one is Minky.
Minky. Okay,
Yeah.
ladies.
Minky!
Yeah, you are on your Minky. Yeah.
Can I maybe add something? The jewelry that you're wearing now, is there any way that maybe you can encourage them to make this from recycled material, like plastic bags, and they crochet it, and you can maybe start something where they actually start making use of waste to make the headbands, the beads.
Yes, like the Morans, they started using plastic, like instead of the birds' feathers, they started doing the plastic. They recycle the plastic containers, they different colors, and they put on the head. So the Morans, the warriors have already started doing the recycling. Yeah, and also even for the women, I know they put a lot of plastic in between the Ngiripa. So like they make it like the hold it together using the plastic.
Students, thank you very much for attending this morning. It's bright and early, but now you have the rest of your day available. Thank you to the lecturers at TUT, Leanne and Cheryl, for encouraging the students to be here with us this morning. And we look forward to seeing you next week when we are inviting the Black Mambas back to talk about community engagement.